much tighter game than the last one in a lot of ways. Difficult, physical. Um, thought our guys held their composure very well through some runs and a lot of crowd noise and a lot of commotion, and they kept their poise. So it's day 3 of 13 days, and no one's getting ahead of themselves. There's a lot of work to do.
What did you make of what Pascal Siakam did today and the opportunities he had?
Special game. You know, early in the first half, he was the guy that got us going and got us through some difficult stretches. Thought he really picked his spots to be aggressive. He ran great. You know, he did everything. He attacked the rim. He was great in mid range, and he you know, the 3-point shot was there. And so you know, it's hard to score that number of points in a game like this, where you always have a physical matchup defensively, and there's a guy crashing and flying at the basket, but he did a phenomenal job. And you know, it's a quiet 39 points. It really was.
You mentioned just the tough matchup he had. He's had obviously very difficult matchups the entire playoffs, to be honest, to Evan, to OG. Just what's it been like for him to work through those scenarios and find his opportunities over the course of the series when he's dealing with that caliber of time?
Yeah, he's a veteran who's been in these situations multiple times. He understands the importance of patience and being disciplined and understanding, you know, the NBA playoffs are a process. You have to keep working the process, you know, whatever your process is within the team. He never forces it. And when we get in a bind late clock, you know, he can get a shot up in the rim, and a lot of times it goes in. And so, you know, he's been great all year.
This is the 6th straight playoff wins on the road for you guys now. Just mentioned the environment.
I'm not focused on that. We got to, you know, I mean, last time we played at home, I guess we won the last time we played at home, but the game before that we lost. And so there are a lot of traps here. You cannot assume going home is going to be easier. It never is. Each game as you ascend in a playoff series becomes harder. You know, and New York is, you know, they've got an amazing fighting spirit, and so, you know, we're gonna have to keep concentrating on our process, making it hard on them, you know, trying to keep tempo in the game, and the rebounding, you know, and the rebounding, it was better tonight. We lost the overall rebounding battle, but we didn't get hurt nearly as bad on the offensive boards, and that's something we got to continue to focus on. Sorry, what? We're just trying to play our game, and you know, you get in an environment like this where there's so much noise and so much going on and so many distractions. If you allow yourself to be distracted, you know, we always talk about, you know, let the noise and all this other stuff be something to help trigger a narrowed focus on your teammates, on your job within the team, and so, you know, we had some success doing it in the first couple games. You know, going home is going to be a different kind of challenge. Well, I thought the third quarter was a very good quarter for us. You know, it was 32-29, and you know, we're at Madison Square Garden, you know, which is one of the ultimate road environments with a tie game going into the fourth quarter, and really, that's all you can ask for. And then, you know, now we've just got to try to execute. as well as we can. And so, look, our bench did a really good job. I thought McConnell was terrific. Toppin had an underrated night. Tony Bradley hasn't played in the series, but he's one of our better rebounders. And so, we elected to go with him to spell Miles a little bit. But we're a team that needs everybody, so that's how we got to play. But the second half, we kept good energy in the game. Our bench, McConnell, Toppin, Shepard did a really good job tonight. All our guys did a good job.
Greg?
It was about TJ. He did a good job. He did what he did in the third quarter, kind of break the defense down, and that's kind of what TJ does, and just get from better.
Well, at this time of year, you have to play with a certain attitude. You have to play with a defiance. And it's kind of defined TJ's 10-year career in the NBA. And so he's done a great job throughout the playoffs of playing his game and not allowing some difficult situations deter him from keeping his focus on what he needs to do to help the team. So tonight I thought he was a real key to the game, and we're gonna need the same effort from everybody when we go home.
Justin?
Asked about him in pregame. Ben Shepard obviously hits 2 big threes and also gets you a lot of minutes there on Jalen Brunson. Just how important again was he tonight to give you what he can do?
He's always ready, and when you play against teams that at the point of attack are very strong, you need runners and movers and people that can scramble up the game a little bit offensively. And he just, a couple times he found, I think 3 times he found really good shots. I think he made 2 out of 3, and those were big plays. The one in the fourth quarter, I think it was, or maybe late third, up on top. That was a big momentum play at that moment.